Eastern. I was able to take the position, ride it through. I saw that there was some rejections to the left side on the smaller time frames. My take profit target was in this area here. I wasn't too comfortable seeing the rejections and having it pull back up to my original entry, so I exited this position. Yes, if I had held the position, it would have moved all the way down to my original take profit. But at the time when I was executing the trade, it didn't look I didn't look comfortable in it, and I removed my my position from there. So this is the result. This is what I would have done better next time I look at taking that trade. That is basically how a video should be presented. That is what people should be talking about. Not, drawing some magical zone here, some rejections there. That's all bullshit. Okay? Not telling me where you entered, why you entered, what were you thinking before you came onto the charts, what was your rationale for entering at that time, not just because there was a rejection area. Like, how did it correlate with the rest of the market? What were you looking at? How did you observe the market at that time to make sure that this entry made sense? There's no discussion of that. It's just, I pop up a trading view chart and they turn around and mark up some random information and boom, that's it. That is not education. That is not a video worth $1. Okay? That's like basically somebody at a mechanic shop talking to you going, yeah, there's this car that came in today. It was making some noises. We opened up the hood. We saw some things. We changed the the fuel pump here. We did a little bit of radiator, and we changed the radiator fluid, put that in, dropped the hoist, and the car went off. Right? That's essentially what you're learning from these videos. Not, hey, I'm a mechanic. We've seen this happen before. XYZ, and when we noticed that, based on the noises we were hearing, we were able to go through a checklist and figure out exactly what had happened. Now, if we had not done this, we would have missed this information, but we also saw this and we added this for the customer. So like this is where it comes down to. And then what people talk about is they talk about indicators, right? So, there's an EMA cross at this level here, and this is where I would have taken the trade because of the EMA cross. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Okay? It's absolute garbage. And the fact that people do that, it cons the rest of the industry. Because here, let me break it down for you from somebody who actually worked in finance and actually did work in the industry that people are trying to claim that they're working on. Essentially, the FX market is used, and I want people to understand this. So I'm going to teach you something today, right, that no other marketing traders actually teach you. The FX market is used to hedge other instruments in a portfolio, okay? So as an example, a institution, right, like John Smith funds or James Keller funds or Joan Robbins funds, they have a portfolio, okay? So that portfolio has multiple asset classes in it, right? So you could use real estate as an asset class, equities as an asset class, fixed income as an asset class, bonds as an asset class, right? So there's multiple vehicles where people are trying to earn money off of, okay? Now, when you talk about FX, FX is used to hedge a lot of those different instruments. And essentially what happens there is if a portfolio has an international holding, say from the UK or from the US, and they're in another country, they will buy that currency to hedge that current asset. That is the reason why currency moves all day. That is the reason why things move all the time. Okay? The bank is not sitting there clicking a buy and sell button every day to trade the currency. what they're doing is they're either accumulating currency or they're offloading currency. They're not trading it like it's like a day trade. We take advantage as retail traders and we trade that way because we're taking advantage of how the market is pricing certain instruments. And that is what happens in the FX industry. So all these indicators, all these charts, these things were made for the retail trader to feel comfortable donating their money into the markets. Okay? You have to understand that concept that the charts were made for retail traders. Institutions, fund companies, banks, they don't use charts to map out price of USD CAD. They don't use charts to map out USD JPY or GJ or gold. They have a flow. It's basically a order book that they see where the volume of price is going in and out. And they execute based on that. And then when it hits a certain level based on fundamental data, price goes up. And when it hits a certain level based on fundamental data, price goes down. That is how price works in the real world. In the retail environment, to create a idea that trading is easy, that anybody can do trading, they made all these indicators, they made these charts, and essentially what they've done is they've created a false narrative. And the people that are selling said ideas are talking about how these indicators work, how they're magical, how if you use them, they're gonna give you insight. They don't give you anything. Indicators lag. They provide you historical price information. They don't provide future price information. Okay? You want to know how we know that they don't provide future price indication? Okay? Open up an indicator and put it on your chart. Okay? Just take your chart right now if you're in front of your computer and open up a chart and open up an indicator. Where does your indicator stop? It stops at the current price. So tell me how that indicator is going to help me with future price. Right? Think about that for a second. If indicators are going to give me information about the future, why aren't they mapped out farther into the future? Think about that. Think about that for a second, right? If indicators were so magical and they were there to help us, why can't they predict the future? Right? We're using them right now, so how come no one's created the indicator that can keep moving past the current price? I mean, doesn't that make sense? Like, all I'm doing is talking logic here. And the problem is, when we talk logic, people are afraid of that because it takes away their ability to sell things. Right? How can you teach trading now as a marketing person on Instagram if you don't know anything about fundamentals? You never finished school. You didn't take any economics classes. You didn't take any finance classes. And now you can't talk about indicators. Right? Now, how do you sell a course? How do you sell a course when you don't have any financial background? When you've never talked about when you never talked about fundamentals? When you've never finished school? You don't have any life experience? How can you teach a course? That is the problem. So that's why when people tell me indicators work, it's because they need to try and sell something. Right? Think about it. Why is there only maybe 4 or 5 people that talk about fundamental information on social media? You know why? Because those 4 or 5 people actually went to school, learned economics, learned finance, and they actually went through and they're able to communicate that information, right? So the majority of people don't have that information. Now, there's always going to be the argument, and I see people posting here, that people who drop out, there are some success stories. And once again, we are not talking about the minority of people, we're talking about the majority, okay? We have to get out of this mindset that I know a guy who knows a guy who was super successful and he didn't graduate kindergarten. We have to get out of that mindset. Okay, that's not reality. I'm truly, truly sorry that if you think not having an education is a benefit, okay? If you think dropping out of school is a benefit for yourself, I truly feel sorry for you, okay? There is a minority of people that will become successful by not having any education, by not being able to read, by not being able to write, by not being able to see, by not being able to do math. There will always be a minority. Have you ever heard the saying, if you place 1,000 monkeys in a room typing on a typewriter, eventually one of them will type Shakespeare? It's the same scenario here. Okay? So when we think about these things, and when I speak for the majority. I speak for the 80%, the 90%. I don't speak for the 10 or 5% that got lucky. Right? LeBron James went from high school directly into basketball, into NBA. Kobe Bryant did the same thing. The rest of them all went through and they did college, they graduated, they all came out, they all went to some sort of school, they all went from, some of them went from the D League into the NBA, okay? There are always anomalies in every time, in every sort of area of life. There's always anomalies, okay? We have to accept that. And this is an education standpoint. This is an education point. Is educated people understand there's always anomalies and there's always exceptions to the rule. It doesn't mean it's the norm, okay? So when we look at this and we say, okay, how am I going to learn to become a successful trader? Because someone just posted this. Mr. Mario Ambar, with his chest sticking out, turned around and said, tell us more the holy grail on how to become a millionaire. Okay, you want to learn how to become successful? This is your keys to becoming successful. Okay? Here's your keys to becoming successful. I'm gonna explain to you right now the keys to becoming successful. First things first is gather as much information as you can about the topic that you're working in, or that the item that you're passionate about. Okay? That's the first thing. Okay, so if you're passionate about racing cars, you're passionate about being a mechanic, you're passionate about working at a grocery store, you're passionate about, sitting playing video games, gather as much information as you can about things. You always beat around the bush when you come on Instagram. Okay, well, guess what? You don't need to be here, so we'll see you later. The next step is look at the current marketplace and see what everybody is doing and find the gap in that marketplace. Where is there a gap? Okay, so we'll go right back into the FX markets. Okay, we'll go right back in there and we'll go back into the FX market since, we talk about this all the time. Okay, what is the current marketplace? Okay, the current marketplace is everybody sells a course, everybody has a broker, everybody has a funding company, everybody sells signals, right? Pretty much that's the landscape right now. If you go onto Instagram, anybody who drives a supercar sells a course. There's nobody on Instagram that actually drives a supercar or a fancy car or has something fancy that doesn't sell something. Okay? There isn't anybody there. I'd wait to hear somebody that actually that posts all the stuff that they have without selling anything, that are just hanging out. Okay? So that's the first thing. The current gap in the FX industry is education. Okay? And you know what the education is? The education is the deep dive of how to do what you do well. That doesn't exist because the people that are selling education have never deep dived themselves to understand how to do things, because truthfully, a lot of them don't necessarily trade often enough. They're not involved in the markets. They've never shown an account for longer than 2 months, 3 months. Okay? There's nobody out there that can show a year's worth of history, 2 years worth of history. I mean, there's a couple of people. I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but people like me. But it's because there's no benefit for them to show that information when the fact remains people still believe that they're good at something because they see material goods. Okay? And at the end of the day, the gap here is people that have actually traded on a daily, a weekly, a monthly basis have the data to support the information that they're giving. Because here's the thing. Here's the scenario that you're running into right now in the current industry. And here is the gap. Here is the current gap. People who teach other people how to trade do not teach from a historical library of their own trades. Right? They teach ideas of how you could trade. They don't teach from what they've learned. And the challenge has always been, and I've done this from when I started teaching, and when I taught people in 2016, 2017, 2018, and I stopped, I pulled information from how I traded the markets and what I saw in the markets every day. So I was able to give you information that actually made sense. There's a reason why everybody trades 8 a.m. Everyone trades 8:20 a.m. Everyone's aware of how 9:30 reacts. Everyone's aware of London close. There's a reason, because people like myself and a few others were able to dissect the market exactly where things are happening. And that's exactly why there's a gap. So now you as an educator, you as a trader should be able to pull up a whole lot of data. And I've collected data for the last 8 years. And that's why I speak to a lot of things. And that's why when I teach you ideas on Instagram Live, I've been able to provide exact information because I've seen it happen in the market time and time again. This week we talked about, what did we talk about this week on Tuesday? We talked about the fact that all we needed to do was wait for a rejection from the upside on gold and it would continue to travel down. And that's what happened. Right? Simple concepts. And then it's like, okay, where do we execute and what do we watch out for? Things of that nature, right? Things that you're doing on a daily basis. All right. I'll let people catch up here. There's like all these infighting of, I don't know what, like, like a whole bunch of people talking about stuff that doesn't make any sense. Can you create your own YouTube start mentorship and help people for a month or a few weeks? No. I don't want to help anybody anymore because this industry is toxic. I'm telling you all the problems with this industry. I don't want people to have a false narrative anymore. I don't want to be the cause of people's pain anymore. I really make sure when I come on here, I give you the information for free. Okay, I give you the information for free. There's many gaps in this industry that have to be filled. We have gaps with technology. We have gaps with information. Okay, and they're not being filled because nobody cares about them. But those are the edges that you need. And the problem is, at the end of the day, people don't have the information in front of them to pass on to others. So they just repeat the same crap over and over again. Okay? And that's the problem. And that's what ends up happening on a daily basis. And that's the reason why 90% of retail traders fail. The easiest way, and if you want to learn how to trade correctly, if you want to learn how to trade with confidence, I will go through this right now for everybody. Okay, I will go through a high level 5-minute pitch on how to trade correctly. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out your current situation. Okay, you're gonna first look at your current situation, and you're going to say to yourself, okay, why am I learning how to trade? Okay, so let's do this exercise together. There's 335 people in here. We're going to do this exercise together. I'm going to teach 335 people here how to become a better trader. I'm not teaching you how to become a successful trader. I'm going to teach you how to become a better trader. The successful part is up to you on how you take this piece of information that I'm going to give you and how you better yourself with it. And if you become better with this information, you will become successful. Okay, so here's the thing. Why are we learning how to trade? So put down your little answer, type it in the little box here. I'll give everybody a minute and we can figure out why are we learning how to trade? Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, we got some people. Mr. Burner is saying he wants to trade on his rooftop. That's pretty cool. All right, we got someone to understand the world better, time, freedom. People are saying money, enhanced decision-making processes. I like that answer. Because we like it, that's probably a good answer. Have a more fulfilling life, okay. To be like Daniel Savage, okay, for financial freedom. All right. I enjoy solving problems. Ah, that's actually a really good answer. I love the game. Okay, that's another good answer. Because the markets are fascinating, that's a good answer. All right. Okay. Let's see. Got economics, ability to pay bills, financial freedom. All right. Okay. So let's basically do this. I'm going to get myself a piece of paper so that I can remember these kind of answers so I can talk to them, because that's what a good person does. Okay. Got my piece of paper. Going to write it down. All right. So top answers. We got financial freedom. Freedom. Problem solving. Like it. Enhance. your, I guess, intelligence or education. I'll put education or literacy, financial literacy. We can do that. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you. That's enough. Okay. So let's break down the four things we have. Okay. So we have financial freedom, problem solving. People just like it in general and they want to learn more. They want to be a better overall person. Okay. So curiosity. We'll put that as well. Okay. So what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to rate these four topics or these four answers, right? Financial freedom, problem solving, you like it, and enhance, or you have curiosity towards about it. Okay, so how I would rank this is problem solving. I would probably say this is going to be the best answer for you to be a trader. So number one would be problem solving. Number two would be enhancing your education. Number three would be like it. And number four would be financial freedom. Okay? So problem solving is the best. So we're going to break this down. And the reason why I broke it down in this way is I want you now, you're going to start to understand who you are as a person. Because this is what trading comes down to. So this is, when I educated, this is how we broke down sort of how trading is. Okay? So the reason why I put financial freedom at the bottom of this list is because you are not at a mental capacity to be trading right now if you're looking for financial freedom. Okay? There are other ways for you to become financially free other than trading, and this isn't a passion for you. So technically, if you said financial freedom and money, you will fail at trading about 90% of the time. Okay? That's the first thing. So if you've said financial freedom, money, I need to pay bills, this is the wrong industry for you. Okay? This is the wrong industry for you. I apologize, but you're not going to be successful in FX. If you believe financial freedom is the reason why you're learning how to trade. Okay? So now let's go into the top answer, which was problem solving. This is probably the best answer. So if you actually like problem solving, you like theory, you like sort of strategy, you're going to like trading. Because what you're doing this for now is you're doing this because you thoroughly enjoy the idea of coming to a particular impasse and figuring out how that impasse works and how you can now manage that impasse. You're not worried about your finances. You're not worried about making money. You're worried about solving a current situation or a challenge or a problem. Okay? So that's where people who enjoy problem solving will become very successful traders in the long term. Not in the short term, but in the long term. Because what problem solving allows you to do is it allows you to look at a potential challenge or a problem and come up with multiple scenarios that may not be what other people are thinking. And this is your key in the markets, because when you're able to make trading your own, trading becomes very, very easy for you. It will be very difficult for you to pass that knowledge on because of the fact that you are thinking about things on what you do and what makes you comfortable. So that's why I say problem solving. If you enjoy problem solving and you like what you do on a general daily basis, you will be successful at trading because of the fact that you do not have the notion of, I need to make money doing this. You have the notion of, I want to be able to be solving problems on a daily basis. And the byproduct of me solving problems is the success and getting the little carrot at the end of the day, which is, a positive trade. Okay? So if we are in that mindset, we can now move forward. The next one is enhancing your education, your financial literacy, curiosity. Goes a little bit hand in hand with problem solving. I think, you're probably at that stage of your life where you're looking for another idea on, how to live your life, or you've always had an interest in sort of how the world works, and this sort of drew you to it because it's like, hey, finance makes the world go round. I want to learn about finance. I'm not necessarily worried about my results. I'm more concerned about educating myself so that I can prepare myself for different facets of my life. I know why food is going up in price now. I know why real estate's going up in price right now. And that's where, a lot of people, they just gravitate towards trading because they're like, hey, this is happening because of this. I want to understand what's going on in the economy. So it's another very good answer. It brings into like the final one, which is like it. You enjoy trading, you enjoy the thought process, you enjoy the fact that like it's a challenge. That's a good thing. Anything related to finances or making money when it comes to trading is going to make you fail. And the reason why I say that is because of the reason why all these funding challenges popped up. All these prop firms popped up because they realize psychologically everybody's sitting there trying to chase a dollar. And what did they do? They showed the shiny object, which is money, and they use psychology against you. And this is where people don't even understand that they're being abused, right? You're being told from a psychological level, it's being reinforced to you at a psychological level that you are inadequate. Right? You are inadequate. Because think about this, right? You have a job right now, or you're trying to make money, and you have decided that you are inadequate. Inside your head, you have this little voice that has told you you're inadequate. Why has it told you this? Why has it told you this? Because you are overstimulated with things that are around you. So you have looked on how I can make money so that I can be successful in other people's eyes. And that's the reason why you take these funding challenges. Because you're deathly afraid of being inadequate. Because if someone told you that all you had to do was continuously trade your $50 or $100 account, continuously work your job, and over the next 2 or 3 years you would become successful, you wouldn't be spending your money in a prop firm. You wouldn't be spending your money on a trading fund challenge. And that's the reason why you do what you do, because you're fearing your inadequacy and you believe that you are better than you are. So you throw $500, $150, $300 at these funding programs. You magically you pass the funding program on these demo challenges. You get these accounts and you make an extra $500 or $1,000 or whatever it is. And then a month later you blow it because you didn't follow the rules. And now you're back at square one. The majority of you will go through that cycle over and over again because inside your head, you are not secure as a human being. And this is exactly the reason why many, many traders fail. And this is the key insight on why do you want to learn how to trade. You have to be very, very secure in yourself in the sense that A, I don't know what's happening in the world. I'm not the smartest in the room. I need to ask questions. I need to work hard. These are situations that you have to deal with as a trader that are all psychological. You have to accept that you're a failure in this environment and that it's going to be very hard for you to become successful. When you strip yourself down and you start to realize that, hey, this is going to be difficult for me, I don't have any place or anyone to compete against, I'm working just through myself, you will become successful. The challenge is being honest with yourself and removing yourself from all the distractions of people saying that you can't do it. You need a certain account size to be successful. You need to get a certain risk to reward to be successful. You need to take signals. You need to pay for courses. You need to take funding challenges. You need all this stuff to become successful. When you remove all that noise and it's just you, if you can sit there quietly and actually understand who you are as a person, this will change your entire mindset of you as a trader, you going to execute. So that's why I say financial freedom is at the end of your journey when it comes to trading. It's not the beginning reason on why you want to learn how to trade. So, like I said, if you're thinking to yourself, so there's 380 people here right now, if you put down on your piece of paper, and be honest with yourself, if you put down financial freedom, make money, pay bills, buy this, buy that, help my family, help myself to become, financially secure, whatever you did revolving around finance, when it comes to learning how to trade, you are on the wrong path already. So my suggestion is you take a step back and you say to yourself, okay, if financial freedom is my goal, if someone hands me $10 million tomorrow, would I really want to trade? Would I really want to trade? If someone paid off all my bills tomorrow, would I be wanting to wake up in the morning and look at the charts? Be honest with yourself. This is a test for you. You don't have to tell me your answer, but you have to sit with yourself and be honest with yourself. The fastest way for you to learn and for you to progress in life is to be honest with yourself. It's okay that you said, hey, I want to be financially free, that I want to pay bills. That's okay, because that was your initial gut instinct, right? So I'm not saying that you're wrong, that that's why you want to learn how to trade. I'm saying it's not the right mentality for you to get into trading. It's a mentality for you to want to be successful, for you to have desires. But trading is psychology. Trading is 80 or 90% psychology. You have to look internally at yourself first. Where are you struggling? What are things that you need to work on internally for you then to translate that into success in the charts? Okay? So that's the reason why the first question I ask is, why do you want to learn trading? Okay? So now that you're able to piece that together, we're able now to dissect it even further. We can dissect this even further. Is now, how do we gain knowledge to be successful as a trader? Okay? Once again, we look at ourselves. So a lot of trading is self-reflection, right? Everything that I'm talking about right now is all self-reflection. And if you noticed, I haven't even talked about the charts. I haven't even talked about a pair that you should trade. I haven't even talked about any of that. The trading aspect is easy. The execution aspect is easy, okay? If you're sitting down right now, stand up, right? Just go stand up. How easy was it for you to stand up? Super easy. Why? Because over the last 16, 17, 20, 25, 30 years, you've stood up every time that you needed to go do something. You stood up from your sofa, stood up from your chair, stood up from your bed, okay? When your first year of life, your first 6 months of life, your first 2 years of life, were you very comfortable on your feet? Were you running around? You were falling, you were tripping, you were awkward, right? Because you didn't have the experience of standing up all the time, of walking. So that's the same thing with trading. As you gain more experience with trading becomes easier. There's no problems there because you start to see the same thing all the time. You execute all the time. You do all those things, and you start to see those elements, and the trading's very straightforward. So now we go back and we say, okay, how are we going to actually trade? What are we doing as a trader? Okay, so what am I doing psychologically as a trader to prepare myself to be in the markets? I have to, as a trader, collect as much data as I can and review that data before I even try and execute out there, right? This is the thing that people don't teach you, is data collection when it comes to trading is the most important thing for trading, okay? The more data you collect, the better you're going to be as a trader, because you're going to start to recognize things right away, okay? So now you say, all right, how do I collect data? What data do I collect, Ted? Because this is a question I always get asked. What data do I collect? Okay. So you say to yourself, okay, now we're going to go on to the chart. We're going to look at the chart, and the first thing that we're going to look at is we're going to look at where are all the largest 4-hour candles? Where are all the largest hour candles located? I'm going to open up a spreadsheet. Okay? I'm going to open up a spreadsheet, and I'm going to put my spreadsheet. I'm going to put on the columns. I'm going to put 1 hour, 4 hour, okay, on the columns. On the rows, right? So columns go horizontal, right? If we have a spreadsheet, just in case you didn't take any sort of spreadsheet ideas in class or in school, we are going to go 1 hour and 4 hour on columns, and our rows, we're going to go Monday all the way to Friday, okay? So our rows go vertical, right? Vertical row, horizontal across, right? So sorry, vertical column, horizontal row, right? So I made a mistake there. So we have our 1 hour and our 4 hour on our spreadsheet going horizontal, and then our column, we're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay? So have we put that? Have you written that down? Have you put that somewhere? Now, what we are going to do is we are going to look at our charts on a Monday. We're going to open up our hourly charts on the Monday, and we're going to mark down where did we see the top 5 largest candles on the Monday. Okay? So you're going to go through your Monday chart. You're going to go from 00 GMT all the way till the end of GMT, right? 24 GMT. And you're going to go through and you're going to look at where did we find all the largest 1 hour candles, the top 5 1 hour candles, okay? And what you're going to do on your spreadsheet is you're going to mark down, it showed up at 6 GMT, 8 GMT, 12 GMT, whatever, 19 GMT. We're going to write down the top 5 largest candles, okay? So you're going to find your largest candle, your second largest, your third largest, your fourth largest, and your fifth largest. Okay? Now we're going to go into the 4 hour, and we're going to mark down where we saw the 2 largest 4 hour candles. So in a 24-hour period, how many 4 hour candles are there? In the 24-hour period, how many 4 hour candles are there? There are 6. So we're going to look for the top 2, okay? So you're going to have maybe at like 12 GMT or 16 GMT, whatever the 4 hour candle finishes for you, that is where we're going to have that information, okay? So now on our Monday, we've written down that information. Tuesday, we're going to go do that same thing again. Wednesday, same thing again. Thursday, same thing again. Friday, same thing again. Well, not Saturday, but Monday to Friday, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do that for a whole month. Okay? We're going to do that piece of information for a whole month. Okay? So you have your spreadsheet. You can map it out any which way you want, but I want the top 5 hourly candles for each day for a month. So there's 20 trading days in a month. The top 5 candles for hourly, the top 2 candles for 4 hour. Okay? So for a whole month. Okay? The largest candles you can find, the largest body, right? So just measure them out. Look at, if you have to take a ruler, just figure it out. Use your eyes and see where the largest candles are on a daily chart for the hourly candles and a daily chart for the 4-hour candles. That's all we're doing. Okay? Now you should have 20 days of data. And from those 20 days of data, you now have information. And what you do is you say, okay, I'm trading GJ, and I noticed that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, one of the largest candles that I've seen comes at X GMT. So it could be 7 GMT, 8 GMT, 12 GMT. Make that note. Okay? Now what you're looking for is you're looking to compare all your data. Okay? Now you're looking to compare all your data. So you're going to see through the fact that we have 100-hour candles, right? Because we did 20 days of 5 1-hour candles. Is that correct? So you have 100 candles. Out of those 100 candles, take the top 20 candles or top 30 candles, and where did they appear the most at a certain time, right? So was it on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays? You'll start to see a pattern. Okay? You'll start to see a pattern. Go to the 4-hour, do the exact same thing. So now you've taken data points and you've said to yourself, hey, I notice now on Wednesdays that there is a large candle. Every Wednesday for the last 4 weeks, I've seen a large candle at either 8 GMT, 10 GMT, or 12 GMT. Whatever the time is, okay? This is where you have to see this information. As you start to collect it, you start to do it. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to turn off commenting because you guys are stupid. Like, it's just utterly stupid that anybody would be trying to communicate at this point when I'm trying to teach you something that no one else has ever taught you how to do. And yet you sit there and you keep commenting. How dumb and how stupid can you be as an individual to come on an Instagram live where the screen is black on purpose and you keep asking such stupid questions? Oh, I can't see anything. Can't see anything. Don't you think that if there was a problem, I would have already fixed it? I am above average intelligence. I know when something is broken, when something's not working, when the screen is black. Do you think you're the first person to come on here and say, well, why is the screen black? I can't see anything. Think about that for a second. Use logic. This is the exact problem that you're going to have in the charts. That you can't think for yourself. That you had to go and ask a question on an Instagram live that was so obvious. Yes, the screen is black. You know what you could have done? You could have jumped off Instagram live, taken a look and saw that your screen is working, jumped back in and saw that it was black. You didn't even have to ask a question. You could have just done it yourself. This is the stupidity, the level that people are at in terms of stupidity. And then they say, I want to make millions of dollars in the market. How do you expect to make millions of dollars in the market when you have the attention of a fucking squirrel? How? How do you have that? How do you have that ability? How do you think you're going to win in the markets when you have the attention of a squirrel and you're constantly trying to ask questions? The fact that you're asking questions while I'm teaching you important information for free, taking time out of my day to give you information, the lack of respect you show yourself. Forget about me, because you know what? I don't need to learn this. I've already learned it. You guys haven't learned it. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible how stupid people are. And then you wonder why I don't want to teach people. This is the reason why. And there are 10 seconds left. I will have to jump back on and we will start again in a minute.